thrown into the crossfire of danger, desire, and jealousy.
I'm falling in love with her.
Hey, it's Janelle Waz, and welcome back to another episode of Treknalysis. Crossfire.
Crossfire! Crossfire! Crossfire!
No, I'm not talking about that Crossfire. I'm talking about the DS9 Season 4 episode that finds Odo shoved into the friend zone. And it's painful to watch.
You are such a good friend to me.
Ooh! Moment of silence for a friend in the friend zone. Poor Odo. For a guy who spent a good chunk of the early show dismissing romance as a frivolous humanoid activity, he had to go and fall in love with his best friend. Odo's feelings were both subtly and fully on display in Crossfire, which is perhaps one of the show's most frustrating episodes because not only is Kira oblivious the entire time, but she goes and dates someone else. Granted, it's a guy she's known for years, but he only popped up on the station in the last week. Constable Odo, welcome to the friend zone. Enjoy your stay as much as you can.
Will Odo be forced to commit an unspeakable betrayal on the next Star Trek?
But before I go further, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I talk a lot about Star Trek, video games, and whatever else I feel like talking about. And if you'd like to help support the channel, consider becoming a member. Be great to have you aboard. It's Tuesday, and Odo is painstakingly prepping for his Tuesday morning meeting with Major Kira, adjusting the furniture and making sure her Rectigino is just right. I mean, he's prepping for this meeting like Geordi prepping for a totally professional collaboration in his quarters.
Maybe a little soft jazz.
Okay, Odo, play it cool. You were totally catching up on your notes and didn't just spend the last half hour moving furniture. Yeah, in case you didn't figure it out, Odo's got a thing for Kira. And if you've been following the show, it's been going on since at least season 3. Specifically, the episode Heart of Stone.
I won't leave you because I'm in love with you.
Oh, don't worry, that wasn't really Kira. It was that bitch! In fact, Odo knew that wasn't the real Kira because there was no way she could love him. No, that's not even a joke. That's literally how he figured it out.
And you lied when you said you loved me.
She is never going to love you.
Though, to be fair, this was the episode after her boyfriend Betrayal died. Or was murdered, if you subscribe to my theory about that. So, Kira probably wasn't looking for a new boyfriend at the time. Alright, but now you're all caught up, let's get back to the meeting. Uh-oh, the Rectigino. Please tell me the Rectigino is fine! Mission accomplished. So these meetings involve Odo and Kira going over the criminal reports to basically laugh at all the shenanigans going on the station. And these crimes range from romantic encounters, graffiti, and even
I'd like to file a complaint.
Quark filing a noise complaint against Odo.
It's just Quark's luck that you would be assigned quarters right above his.
Luck had nothing to do with it.
In my experience, there's no such thing as luck.
But the big news on the station is that First Minister Shakaar is coming on board to convince the Federation to fast-track Bajor's membership into the Federation. Which was the whole reason Sisko was assigned to DS9 in the first place. I'd say he's doing a pretty good job. Everyone's in dress uniforms, and Chief O'Brien is looking particularly hot.
It does show off your figure.
There's something about the sex appeal of dress uniforms in this franchise.
Well. I wasn't aware you had such handsome legs. He has nice legs too, little one. Is he still yours?
Okay, so there's a lot in this episode that was set up in the last season, so now for some Shakaar background. First Minister Shakaar is a longtime friend of Kira and was the leader of her resistance cell during the Cardassian occupation. They reconnected last season, Shakaar having given up being a candle ghost to work as a farmer. Yes, Shakaar and Ronan, Beverly Crusher, and her grandmother's candle ghost boyfriend are played by the same actor. He's got a thing for redheads. During his first appearance, Shakaar started up a rebellion when Kai Wynn tried to take some farming equipment from him, and he ended it by running for office and getting elected as First Minister. Yes, Bajor may have elected an ex-Candle Ghost as their First Minister, but considering Nurse Ratched was the opposition. And that was the last time we saw him until— Shakaar, what the hell did they do to you? This is the Shakaar I wanted to see, not this guy. He looks like a total dweeb.
He's so good looking.
No, he's not, Dax.
I have reason to believe someone is planning to assassinate First Minister Shakaar.
Win, is that you? Look, she's been behind a couple of assassination attempts on political rivals before. Why wouldn't she strike again? No, instead, the latest threat comes from a Cardassian group called The True Way, which isn't all that important because they only get mentioned a couple of times in the show. All you have to know is that today they have their sights on Shakaar and his efforts to get Bajor into the Federation. Shakaar won't cancel his public appearances because you don't negotiate with terrorists, mainly because he used to be one. So the only option is to beef up security on the station.
Commander Eddington is on leave.
But we have his hotter identical twin brother here. But with Eddington off the station, Worf is assigned to help Odo. Oh, this station is totally getting hijacked, isn't it? Listen, Worf doesn't have the greatest track record, okay? Now, to be fair, a lot of those Enterprise incidents could have been avoided if someone had listened to him.
Providing security was difficult enough aboard the Enterprise. It appears to be next to impossible on this station.
So Odo goes on Shakaar bodyguard duty with Worf monitoring the situation. Which isn't the easiest feat because he constantly goes in places that make him a prime target. Which is a concern on the station, not gonna lie. But Shakaar trusts Odo with his life, mainly because Kira told him how much she trusts her own life with him. Meanwhile, at an all-you-can-eat reception, Kira's only eating a single Fig Newton. Girl, what are you doing? Go directly for the Totino's pizza rolls! Kira makes her way over to Odo, who's glaring at everyone in the room, and casually asks why he doesn't wear a belt anymore. Which, to be honest, I never really noticed that he wore one, but apparently he did. Well, at some point, he decided that he really didn't need one because, as a changeling, it was just for looks and not for holding up his pants.
I just thought it looked good on you, that's all.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Dude, he literally changed his outfit for her because she said it looked good. I mean, this is Odo we're talking about here. The guy where everything in his life has a specific purpose and who sees a lot of humanoid behaviors as frivolous. He has no need for a belt because he doesn't even wear pants. That's his skin. He's technically naked. So to make a cosmetic change like this, no matter how small, just because Kira said it looked good? This is huge. Painstakingly setting up the morning meeting, making her rack to Gino the way she likes it, changing his outfit, the extended glances? Oh, this guy's got it bad. There's a story in my eyes. But sitting upon Cloud 9 eventually reminds you that clouds are mainly made out of water vapor, and you come crashing down because Shakaar just made his move on Kira to go for a little stroll, which Odo volunteers to chaperone and looks like he's been punched in the gut.
Oh, and don't stay too close.
Oh, Quark knows what just went down. Hey, he's been tending bar long enough, so he's definitely seen this before. Not gonna lie, Quark's kind of a bro in this episode.
You're his worst enemy.
Guess that's the closest thing he has in this world to a friend.
Heck, even despite the competition, Odo and Shakaar are on decent terms throughout the entire episode. Heck, they even have a lot in common. They have similar political opinions, they think the Federation has their head up their ass. Major Kira!
Has she ever said anything to you that might indicate that she thought of me as more than a friend?
You think a princess and a guy like me?
No.
Yep. Shakaar's asking Odo for advice on Kira. Does she talk about me? Does she think of me as more than a friend? I think I'm falling in love with her. It's the red hair, Shakaar. You never could get over Beverly. Odo, keep an eye on Kira's eyes.
Have you changed the color of your eyes?
I just grew tired of the other color.
Meanwhile, Odo spends the entire conversation looking like he wants to jump out of the airlock. Even with Shakaar second-guessing himself, I could be wrong, it could ruin the friendship, maybe it's all in my head. Odo really doesn't do much to talk him out of it and isn't even actively sabotaging him. All he really does is remark that he thinks she's still grieving for Betrayal and maybe he should just be patient.
Maybe I should just be patient. That's what I would do.
It speaks to Odo's integrity, which is a central part of his character. Especially when it would have been really easy to sabotage Shakaar here. Honestly, that's a trope I see in a lot of movies that I never really liked because it only makes the character you would otherwise sympathize with look terrible.
They are without honor.
So the main conflict of the episode isn't the assassination attempts or a conspiracy to keep Bajor out of the Federation. It's Odo's duty to protect his own romantic rival, and the episode does a pretty decent job of setting it up. It makes sense why both these men have feelings for Kira, and they've both known her for a really long time. Shakaar for 10 years, though with a big gap in the middle. And while Odo hasn't known her as long, maybe by a couple of years, he's been consistently in her life for at least the past 4. I don't even get the sense that these two dislike each other. Shakaar doesn't seem to be the kind of guy that would tell Odo all this so he backs off. He seems to be genuinely asking for his advice. That being said, I'm clearly on Odo's side here. Sorry, Shakaar, but even though you've known Kira longer and even fought alongside each other, she hasn't seen you for a long time before the soil reclamator incident last year, and as far as I know, this is the first time you've seen each other since then. Aren't you jumping the gun a little here? Odo, on the other hand, he's been fermenting on his feelings since last year while working with Kira on the station. Maybe even longer.
I love him, Odo.
Really?
Who knows how long this has been brewing? Long enough for Quark to figure it out.
You're in love with her. And what's more, you're worried she's falling in love with Shakaar.
Heck, Quark, Odo's supposed arch enemy, encourages him. There's nothing to be ashamed of. For whatever that's worth, they supposedly hate each other. Quark's still a bro, though.
Just stay out of my business!
Bro. Well, it's Tuesday once again, and Odo's made Kira her Raktajino just the way she likes it. 21 minutes ago. Well, finally someone showed up! Just to completely ignore the Raktajino Odo made with love.
I had one this morning with Shakaar. It was in his quarters.
In his quarters! Maybe I should just be patient my ass. Heck, Kira doesn't even stay for the entire meeting. She walks in, looks at the pad for 2 seconds, and then is all, oh, I promised to take Shakaar on a tour of the station. Lady, he was a resistance leader during the Cardassian occupation. I'm sure he's seen it before.
See you later.
Watch this, Lise. You can actually pinpoint the second when his heart rips in half.
Now, for all the crap I give Shakaar, to be fair, he isn't too much at fault in this episode. Other than the writers completely screwed up his character. It's Kira that's painfully oblivious this entire episode, and it pisses me off. Look, she's one of my favorite characters in the entire show, but holy crap, lady, are you blind? Even Geordi could see what's going on here. And not just because he's blind either.
Why would you need to see my personnel files?
You mean to tell me she had no inkling that Odo might have feelings for her? I get maybe misinterpreting his actions as being the actions of a good friend as opposed to a prospective love interest. Although changing his outfit should have been the frickin' bat signal. But holy crap, Odo is visibly disappointed and she doesn't even notice. Even leaving out all of that, the subtle romantic gestures, the disappointed looks, what she's doing to a colleague in this scene really sucks. Doesn't even call saying she'll be late, doesn't say she's grabbing breakfast with Shakaar. We're wasting a perfectly good Raktajino here. I mean, would Kira have pulled this crap on Cisco? Well, no, he let her know what would happen.
Go over my head again, and I'll have yours on a platter.
It's just painful painful to see a character I like so much being this level of oblivious. Suffice to say, Odo's a bit distracted while on guard duty and...
We're falling.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah, turns out when Worf called him about rerouting the turbo lift, that wasn't Worf, and Odo released the controls without even verifying his code. Odo does some quick thinking though, and manages to stop the turbo lift and save this love triangle with some Spider-Man 2 action. And this mistake was so big that Odo is begging the baseball for forgiveness. Oh, and Cisco wasn't very happy either.
Whatever this personal matter is, don't let it interfere with your job again.
I won't, sir.
But not even a Cisco threat can snap Odo out of it. He's got it so bad that even Worf is not only doing his job for him, but doing a better job. And if that's not humiliation, I don't know what is. Alright, enough's enough. Odo's going to Kira's quarters to talk. What do you mean Shakaar's in there?
Since they finished dinner about 3 hours ago.
They're just playing Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Right? I mean, that game is very difficult. Well, should I be surprised some sexy business was afoot here? After all, the candles are still lit!
Just dinna light that candle.
Why not?
It'll bring the ghost.
And then Kira takes this opportunity to shove Odo into the friend zone once again.
You are such a good friend to me.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And the only way out is through a 1960s Las Vegas crooner.
There's nothing like a tuxedo to make you feel like $1 million.
Something like this.
Holy, how is she this oblivious? Can Odo's day get any worse? Yep, Worf just caught the assassin without his help. Odo, we are not replacing that computer! Also, I find it kind of interesting that he threw the plant Kira gave him about a year ago. Just thought that was kind of an interesting detail. Meanwhile, about to file another noise complaint, Quark in his footy pajamas breaks into Odo's quarters to find that he's completely lost control of his life. And hair.
Odo! Are you okay?
Whoa. When you think about it, no one's really asked Odo that this entire episode. Cisco and Worf, okay, makes sense, they're his colleagues and want him to do his job because there's a very important life on the line. But the one person who should be asking that because she's known him for years hasn't asked him that once this entire episode. It's Quark, the guy he's constantly trying to throw in a holding cell, that actually asks him if he's okay. And he's clearly not.
How could I have fooled myself into believing she could ever love someone like me?
She is never going to love you.
Quark finally tells Odo what he needed to hear. Either tell Kira how he feels or move on with his life because he can't go on like this. It's interfering with his job. Oh, don't get the wrong idea. Quark's not looking out for Odo. He runs a betting pool in his bar for how long it'll take Odo to catch the latest criminal, and he's losing. As much as he claims he's just looking out for his business, Quark's definitely a bro.
For a minute there, I thought you were talking to me as a friend. Yeah.
Uh-oh, there he goes. He's gonna
I'm afraid I won't be able to make our Tuesday morning meetings anymore.
Heck, Kira even suggests rescheduling, but no, Odo's scheduling some training for his deputies, and there's no reason to review the criminal reports.
Odo. Is something wrong?
Yes, something is wrong, Major Oblivious! What the hell is wrong with you? The man changed his outfit for you, and made your coffee the way you liked it every week, just for you to go off with First Shakaar!
Hey, no belt?
No belt! And that was Crossfire, which isn't a bad episode, but it's definitely one of the more frustrating ones. First, the good. Renee Auberjonois is fantastic in this episode. It takes some acting chops to portray strong emotions with a normally stoic character. Sometimes it's a subtle change in expression, other times it's explosive, but it's always believable. In some ways, it's not unlike Spock. It's a common misconception that Spock is emotionless because his emotions are actually at war with each other under a calm surface. Rene Auberjonois' subtlety in this episode is arguably on par with Leonard Nimoy's as Spock. But now, the frustrating parts of the episode. Kira, well, I've said my piece about her. She's oblivious the entire episode, and this does seem to come out of the blue. Granted, she had this moment when she was dating Betrayal.
I love him, Odo.
But Odo's feelings were very much hidden at this point of the show, though still subtly shown. Here, this isn't subtle! So imagine my frustration when she says this a year later.
I never knew you felt that way about me.
How? How did you not know? And then there's the disappointment of Shakaar. Look, I was totally behind the character when he first appeared in the previous season. He was a guy willing to get his hands dirty and wasn't going to back down from a fight. And it would have been interesting to see how this kind of character would have transitioned to becoming a politician. This guy, however, is not the same guy. I don't know if they were trying to go for a Lee Nallas kind of character, the reluctant hero who became legendary through dumb luck. But Shakaar shouldn't be this quiet and reserved. He should be a little rough, a little out of place in an elected office, even lacking social niceties. It's not even Duncan Regier's fault. Shakaar just wasn't well written after his first episode. And even Ira Steven Behr admitted it. I should be torn between Shakaar and Odo for Kira's heart, but instead, I'm just left counting the days until Vic Fontaine throws Odo a rescue line from the friend zone.
Here's to the losers, bless them all.
So what did you think of Crossfire? Did you love it? Did you hate it? How do you think Odo, Kira, and Shakaar were handled in this episode? Did you sympathize with Odo? Was Kira too oblivious? Was Shakaar just not written well? When do you think Odo's feelings for Kira started? And what are some of your favorite Odo romance episodes? Please leave comments below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Treknalysis. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends! Until next time...
Why don't you wear that belt anymore?